Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 8. So we're only, it's either a day or a couple, like 2 days away from DC Fandom, from when this video will come out. Not too sure when it will come out, but it's either a day or 2 days before DC Fandom. But regardless, of course, there's going to be many things that people are looking forward to from DC Fandom, whether it's just general news and information about upcoming projects, or movie trailers, or trailers for shows, or just look, or first looks at certain things, or the game trailers and stuff, you know, various things. But of course, as you would expect, the Flash season 8 will get some focus, as we'll be getting our first look at footage from season 8, which you would have to assume is a trailer, seeing we are 1 month or so away from the season starting on the day of DC Fandom. But they might show us something else, and then a trailer comes around like the week or two after. We'll have to wait and see. I would assume a trailer going into it, but they've said first looks at the season. They didn't specifically say a trailer, so flip of the coin, who knows what we're going to get. Now, Entertainment Weekly this week has been doing a Road to DC Fandom, I think that's what they've been calling it, where each day they give a first look at something for a particular DC TV show leading up to DC Fandom. We've had Legend of Tomorrow 100th episode first look photos this week. I think they said that they're going to release something for Batwoman, and at the time of making this, they haven't released it yet, so I know what it is. There might have been something as well, I can't remember. But before Legends got the focus, they actually released the first official look at Season 8 of The Flash via some photos, as well as a somewhat in-depth interview with Eric Wallace with various quotes about the upcoming Armageddon 5-part event that will of course be kicking off Season 8 of The Flash. So that will be what we go over in this video today. But of course, in the comment section down below, feel free to let me know your thoughts, theories, and everything based off what we talk about here, and just your general opinions on these first. I think there's 3 photos here. These 3 first look photos for season 8. Always curious to read what you guys have to say. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video and you're looking forward to what is presented in this video for season 8 of The Flash, why not drop a like on the video to show all of that. So yeah, here are these photos. To just keep it blunt, it shows the first look, like first official look at the human form of Despero, as well as, well, so I guess the first look at the Flash for season 8. Like the Flash as a character in the Flash season 8. Now, straight out of the gate, if you know what's going on with the Flash this season, you'll know that Barry is missing something on his suit that will be introduced in this season in the opening 5 episodes. But of course, I think this is from, it's obviously from an earlier episode. I think it's from episode 3 or 4. I think it's from one of those episodes. I think it's 3 or 4. I don't think it's from like episode 1 or 2, but I might be wrong. Maybe they filmed this episode later and it is from an earlier episode, but I'm pretty sure it's from like episode 3 or 4. But yeah, so we got this whole thing. Obviously, the Flash suit, I think, is just the season 7 one. I don't know if there's any changes here or there. I can't tell based off this. It looks pretty much the same. But in regards to Despero's outfit as a human, so he's going to have his CGI form, and then he's got the human form, which I think makes sense. Like, you save money, and also he can actually go around and do stuff. Like, I think if he's a big CGI hulking monster, it wouldn't work that well consistently. But his suit looks fine here. Not sure the emblems and stuff mean on the various things like that, but it looks interesting. I'm not too sure if the actor who's Tony Curran actually has those tattoos in real life, or they've done them for the character. I guess if someone knows, you could let me know. But I do like how his hair is in a mohawk, because Despero has like a mohawk thing going on in the comics. So I actually sort of like how he has the mohawk going on in the human form as well. I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, we'll just jump into this piece from, and also just to note, he does have black painted fingernails. Obviously, because like Despero would have like claws. So I guess they're meant to like replicate like his claws as he would be in like the big monster form, I guess. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, that's what I'm assuming the black fingernails are for. But yeah, let's jump into this piece from EW that includes this interview with Eric Wallace. So I'm just going to pretty much read it out because it's the best way to go about it, and then I'll stop and give my thoughts at certain points when needed. EW is debuting an exclusive first look at Doctor Who's Tony Curran as the psychic DC Comics alien in the CW superhero drama's upcoming event, Armageddon. Kicking off Season 8, the crossover-like 5-part saga sees Barry Allen, or The Flash, Team Flash, and heroes from the other Arrowverse shows join forces to battle Despero, who left his home world of Kalanor on a deadly mission that threatens Earth. According to the Flash showrunner, Eric Wallace, the scene depicted in these new photos isn't Barry's first confrontation with his super intelligent and powerful new foe, but it is one of the most pivotal exchanges they have in the entire event. So that's what I was saying. You know how I think it's from like episode 3 or 4. because there were set photos, I think, of this scene, and they were a bit later. So yeah, so I guess something happens over the opening, like 2 or 3 episodes. Then this scene happens, and everything gets turned up to 11, and then they have to sort of deal with the stuff in the last 2 episodes and stop Despero. That's actually the scene where we really learn about Despero's alien origins, which is what makes that scene so fascinating to me, Wallace tells EW. Curran has a big speech in that scene. No spoilers, but it's a very intense moment in his relationship with the Flash. You'll see throughout the episodes how Despero tests Flash in various ways. This is one of those moments. That's what makes it so pivotal. I think the audience is going to learn something new about Despero that they never knew, because we do have our own take on the DC mythology for the character. So yeah, I am interested to see just how they overall, interpret the character on screen, because obviously we are doing this human form, which I think will hopefully work in certain parts. And I think just to have that relationship with the Flash go back and forth, I think will work better than having this big CGI monster, which I think you can only do at certain parts, and it only works usually in certain scenes, but also in the daytime it might look a bit weird. But we know we're getting that CGI version. We know that's actually happening. But I am curious to see whether he gives an explanation as to what he's exactly doing. And we don't even know exactly why he's on Earth. It's like a deadly mission, obviously, they say, that threatens Earth. So I'm very curious to see how it all plays out. Created by Gardner Fox and Mike Sekowsky in 1960, Despero is a hulking, three-eyed purple alien who boasts immense psychic powers and super strength, among other things. He was a recurring Justice League of American villain in the 60s to the 90s, which is one of the main reasons Wallace chose him for Armageddon. I wanted to put a truly classic DC villain in this 5-part event that I knew fans would get excited about, says Wallace. Also, I can't say too much without revealing too much of the story. There's a certain element to the story itself that involves the power set of Despero, which makes him the perfect fit for the story. While Curran doesn't appear comic book accurate in these new photos, Wallace cautions fans against jumping to conclusions just yet. Be careful what you see, he says with a laugh. Your eyes can sometimes deceive you. So anyway, as I said, we know we're getting the CGI version. They had the big cardboard cutout, and the actor Tony Curran was wearing the face dots in a scene for episode 1, which I think might be his introduction scene potentially. So we're getting the CGI version, but we're also going to get this human version as well. So no worries. But in regards to what he's saying here about the power set of Despero and being the perfect fit for the story, I do wonder whether this is possession or mind control or just overall hypnosis that he can do from that third eye that's on his forehead when he is the CGI monster. And even when he's in this human form, he does have a belt, which I wonder if that has something to do with transferring his powers. I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait and see in regards to how his powers work, if he can use them when he's in this human form. But maybe possession, mind control. It looks like there's maybe time travel going on in this crossover as well. So maybe you can do something in regards to that. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I'm very curious to see how his powers work and whether they're exactly the same from the comics, or whether they just maybe hone in on 1, 2, or 3 of the the ones that exist out of super strength and everything like that, and and go hard on them within this event. A fan of Curran's portrayal of Vincent Van Gogh on Doctor Who, Wallace chose Curran because he needed an actor who could both bring an operatic flair to a big character such as Despero and ground him when necessary. When Despero shows up on Earth, you can kind of understand why he's here and see it from his point of view, says Wallace. That was kind of important to get across, but then to not be afraid of the biggest side, because as fans of the comics know, Despero has a lot of powers. This isn't a guy who just stands there and talks for 5 episodes. Is he having a dig at his own stuff from season 7? Anyway, you'll see him using some of his familiar powers from the comic books. That's where Tony's experience in other sci-fi genre shows really came into play, because he immediately understood. He said, I love the Shakespearean bigness of it, but I also understand he needs to be relatable to the audience on a very grounded level. Wallace continues, I think the audience is going to flip out when they see how dynamic, exciting, and unpredictable Tony is in bringing this particular version of Despero to life. This is not exactly the Despero that you might know from the comics or the Justice League cartoons. This is our own version that Tony is really bringing something unique to, that I think is going to help make him the definitive Despero. Not only that, but Wallace believes Curran's performance also brings out or brought out the best in the entire cast. What was really nice about Armageddon is that everyone stepped up and treated this like the event that it really is, and Tony was a part of that, he says. Tony's the nicest guy ever, but he doesn't mess around. He's intense, and it helped the cast. Having someone so experienced around rise up to that next level. I think the scenes that you see between Grant and Tony I just think you're going to cackle and hoot with joy because they're just amazing. Two amazing performers giving just incredible, incredible performances in two really special roles. So yeah, once again, it's just going to be interesting to see how Despero is portrayed on screen, because they could go like, oh, you like, oh, big hulking, alien villain, blah blah blah. They could easily go down that route if they wanted to, but they could make him potentially somewhat sympathetic, because we don't really know what his backstory is for this interpretation of the character, whether he was willingly sent to Earth or whether he was, almost like, because I think there was one description for this crossover which said he was like banished from his home world, and maybe he can't come back unless he completes this mission on Earth. So there could be some sympathetic levels that we give to Despero, and that's where the experience of an actor like Tony Curran comes into play. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that works, and just how all these characters playing into the story as well, because we've got all these guest characters coming in, which will be really interesting to see how it all works out. Of course, Despero isn't the only bad guy in Armageddon. Both Tom Cavanagh and Neil McDonough will return as their popular villains Reverse Flash and Damien Dark respectively. However, Wallace isn't quite ready to share how they fit into the story, except for the fact that the duo, who previously teamed up to find the Spear of Destiny, in DC's Legend of Tomorrow in Season 2, caused trouble for the Scarlet Speedster. What happens when you have one bad guy? Well, bad things happen. What happens when you have more than one bad guy? Multiple bad things happen, and it makes for a really terrible day for the Flash, says Wallace. Let's just say the Flash is about to have the worst day he's ever had in 8 years, and we know because we're watching for 7 seasons so far, going on season 8, he's had some pretty bad days. I mean, he watched his dad die. He watched his dad die in season 2, so he's had some pretty bad days. So let's see how all of this stacks up, and let's see how Barry, as well as the rest of the other people coming in, as well as Team Flash as a whole, can take on Despero and potentially come out on the other side bigger and better, and hopefully without anyone dying. Fingers crossed, let's wait and see. But yeah, that's pretty much all to go over. As I said, we got fandom in either a day or two from when this video goes out, so it'll be interesting to see what they reveal there and then. Hopefully a trailer, even if it's just some video footage and like maybe a scene or two, that'd be cool as well. But fingers crossed for a trailer, because that can sort of spread over everything. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome. You could drop a like on it, show support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various thoughts about this. Are you more curious and excited for Despero after this interview? Do you have any issues that you want to raise? Let me know in the comment section down below. Always curious to read your thoughts, theories, and predictions. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.